What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sunset Valley. And welcome back to Victor's Abode. My goodness, we have not seen this monstrosity since my Sunset Valley review, but I certainly remember it. Now, the reason we're here today is that when I started renovating Sunset Valley, I didn't necessarily know that I was going to turn it into a series. So this is one of the first houses I did, and I don't have a speed build video for it, so I thought we might try something new. If you're familiar with my content, then you'll know why I hate this thing, but let's just go through the build in detail, and then we'll look at the renovation after. Kind of like doing a house tour before and after, if that makes sense. So yes, looking around, we have some questionable colors. I don't really like the tower details with like the siding. Like the corners and stuff, it's a little bit too obvious and they don't really line up that well. And they just don't include windows in a few places that I would. I did keep the shape pretty much the same, but I definitely changed all the colors in most of the windows. And especially for this one, I tried to make it a little bit more contemporary because when I complain about that like 70s EA aesthetic, a lot of it has to deal with the colors, and this build really does that. But despite changing pretty much every color on the outside, it pretty much stays the same. So I just want to take us inside the house so I can show you the rooms about how they used to look, or at least how they look when you load up Sunset Valley. So when you enter in the front door, it's kind of like this weird empty living room. Like it's got like the desk, it's got the bookshelf, it's got like the couch and the TV and stuff, but there's like almost nothing. Like there's a light on the corner here and like a decoration way around here. There is a chess table in this little nook that I do keep. I do change up the style and everything, but that was kind of the only thing I liked. Going into the kitchen, I like the floor plan of it, but it's just too empty and too boring. Like there's nothing really in here. I think my biggest problem with this house is that it was giving the vibe of an unoccupied house, like an empty EA house that you move into. Like even this bathroom, like it's so big, but there's no shower or tub. It's just like the toilet. At least they put a toilet paper roll, but just the toilet and the sink. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the downstairs. Why don't we head around this long corner for no reason and go upstairs? I hate when EA builds do this. It just takes forever to get around your house. Going to the second floor, we have a wallpaper that I certainly wouldn't choose. I know it's an old couple and they're kind of like man-child son, but still. And coming in this door, we have like a green EA bedroom that is just not for me. Like the curtains, the chairs, like the bed, like everything, the wallpaper, and the wallpaper isn't even good. And there's no decorations, there's no nightstands. Anyway, get ready for the bathroom because this thing, oh, thank God it's dark in here. But even with like the little bit of light, you can see like it's green and orange central. They even used orange for the lines in between the green tile. Not my style at all, right? And oh my God, like they should have at least put a light up here. You could see something, but perhaps it's a blessing in disguise. Let's go into the other bedroom. So this is Xander's bedroom. And like, I know he's like childish and like a party animal and stuff. I do not understand this wallpaper, but I do understand the furniture. His favorite color is actually spiceberry, and maybe that's what they're going for here. Actually, you know what? I'm probably giving them too much credit. I included a little spiceberry for him. And yeah, going into the last bathroom, like oh my God, just like looking at it up close. I have not gone first person into this bathroom ever. And I kind of wish I didn't. And there's no light in here. I just loaded up a fresh new save file for Sunset Valley, and I just noticed there is no light in this bathroom. So well done, EA. But yeah, so as you can see, Victor's Abode is just like a typical EA mess. It's not for me, it's not for them, and I don't really think it's for anyone. So as you know, I did my own little renovation, and we're gonna take a tour right now. So I'll load up my renovation save file, and I'll see you there. And welcome to my more contemporary rendition of Victor's Abode. As you can see, this shell is pretty much the same shape. I just tweaked a few things, but I really just wanted to like, you know, make it less ugly. So a little bit about this style and texture. So a lot of the kids that I went to like elementary and high school with, the ones who were like spoiled and babied by their parents, they lived in a lot of like brick houses with white siding, dressed kind of McMansion-y. So I thought this shape really reminded me of that. So I just went with that style. I even made the tower all brick, and I changed the windows to something a little bit more mansion-y. But it's more mansion-y, but it's a McMansion, right? And since I've done this house a while ago, you might have seen it in the background when I was doing a couple of the other renovations. But yeah, I balanced out the windows at the back. I kind of chopped off some of the roof here at the end. I just kind of re-roofed the whole thing to something a little bit more tasteful. But yeah, let's go in the front door and see what I came up with. So instead of coming into an empty living space, you're hit with the staircase because that's a little bit more convenient. That way you can get in and out of the house around with your Sims a little bit easier. Looking over here, we still have like little desk space, but I wanted to make it a little bit nicer. So I added like a lamp and a rug. And the downstairs living area has its own little section. So you have like, you know, like a chair, a love seat, a couch, couple plants, bookshelf, TV, you know, like everything a Sim needs. Coming back here, notice how I kept the chess table just like I said. I decorated it with some tile instead. I don't know, I was having too many rugs. And coming into the kitchen, I brightened it up a little bit, added a little bit of color. I kind of went with this like, you know, kind of in between blue and green color for most of the downstairs. I know EA likes to do a lot of blue and green matching, so I'm trying to do it the real way. I don't know why I put a pink wall here, but you know what? I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyone who would get upset over a certain colored wall is just crazy. Don't read too much into that. So going into the bathroom here, I definitely darkened it down a little little bit. And you'll notice the brick wall here that's like dark. I kept a brick wall on all one side of the house just to kind of keep that realistic detail. And here I added a separate toilet room. So it's a little bit more private, a little bit more guest friendly. And I figured I wanted a shower in this bathroom, so why not? But yeah, coming upstairs, the landing is a little bit tight because I decided to squeeze in an extra bedroom, but I guess we'll get to that in a minute. First, I want to show you Xander's new bedroom. So I kind of kept with the Spiceberry theme. I turned it a little bit more pink. I know he's not really a pink guy, but that's really his color. I'm still not 100% sure what Spiceberry is, but the other important thing is that I added a PC. I figured he would have a computer. I just added it in the cheap one because he is kind of a social sim, and a lot of the things in The Sims 3 are quite digital. Like you have the online dating, like the chat rooms and all that other fun stuff. So I want to go into one of the bathrooms to show you that I did tone it down a lot. Like these bathrooms were out of control with the colors. I kept all the bathrooms very neutral and the same, and still with that hint of green. Fun fact, I used the Katy Perry wallpaper for the backsplash. I don't think I used any DLC in this build otherwise, so I thought, why not just throw in those wallpapers? So if you have them, you have them, and if you don't, just replace it with a white tile. But yeah, for the extra bedroom, I turned this bay window area into a little bit of like a studio. Like I put an easel, but it's not specifically an art studio. It's more like if you have to add in items for these Sims later or whatever. But I figure like the adults are retired, so they're gonna want like a little bit of space to explore some new hobbies. You know how some people run out the clock in Florida. But going into this bedroom, this is like the master bedroom, so to speak. It has its own ensuite and it has its own patio door. So it's a little bit of a small bedroom. All the bedrooms were kind of small to begin with in this house. This house is not that big for how grand it looks. A tall roof height can be deceiving, but going into the master bathroom, again, I still use the green detail, the Katy Perry wallpaper, or tiles, I should say, but I tried to decorate a little bit. I kept a couple flowers, like some makeup, because the woman who lives here is pretty like neat and tidy and everything kind of like prim and proper. So I figured like she could have a little bit of a mess in her bathroom, just not anywhere else in the house. My goodness, Xander must drive her crazy. But yeah, that does it for Victor's Abode. What did you guys think? Have you played in this house before, or have you just dated Xander? I think a lot of us have dated Xander because he's one of the young adult male Sims kind of like wandering around. So if you have a female Sim who wants to be pregnant, he's a good opportunity, but he's probably not going to stick through the pregnancy with you, right? Especially not with story progression. But yeah, like for me, like I've always seen this house from afar and I always knew I hated it, so I didn't know how this was going to go. I really like how it turned out. It might even be a little bit too nice and contemporary for someone like him to be living here. But again, he's also living with a couple of retirees, so I figured that they'd have enough time to keep everything neat and tidy, especially with the neat trait. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for some more content. It's interesting because now with these renovations, like the world is starting to come together. Like you guys don't really see it from map view like I do yet, but it is starting to look a little bit better, especially since roofing is not EA's strength. Even just fixing the roof shapes makes a big difference. And that's kind of why I started this, because even if you're playing in your own little house, I want you to wander around a little bit of a prettier Sunset Valley. But I guess you guys will be the judge of that, right? But anyway, Destiny and I will see you in the next one. Boom.